Okay, so let's start at the top of the mat with our feet about hips width, maybe a little bit more. And we'll just slide the hands down to the lower thighs. And from there, just inhale, lift your sitting bones, lift your chest, lift your chin, and exhale to round your back, bring your belly button toward your spine. Just do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. When you inhale, you're pulling yourself through. That would be like your scorpion position. Exhale, round. And we'll just come to neutral, stand up, bring the feet all the way together, and reach up. Inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Hands to the floor if you can. Inhale to fingertips, chest forward. Fold again, exhale, elbows in, palms down. Inhale, so it's like armpits away from hips. Exhale, belly in, head towards shin bones. Bend to the knees, sit deeply, Utkatasana, arms up, inhale. Find your Samasthiti, exhale, tailbone down. So inhale, Utkatasana, this is a back bend, so your tailbone is going to stick out a little bit. And find neutral Samasthiti, exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale, straight legs, arms down. You keep the legs straight, inhale, reach up. And fold forward, exhale. Just like you did before. Inhale to fingertips, chest forward. And just step to plank, exhale. We'll stay here for a moment. Spread the fingers. Make sure there's weight in the fingertips, not just in the wrist. Feel the pointer finger knuckle actively pressing into the floor. Otherwise, you'll end up with too much weight in that wrist bone. It is not pleasant. Let's press the downward dog for the exhale. And then just pedal out your feet so you give each calf and Achilles and hamstring a little chance to open up. And as you're doing that, step the feet together so it's like you have one big foot. Bring the right knee toward the chest and keep that heel cinched in toward your butt. Just lift the right knee to the ceiling. So we're kicking ourselves in the butt as that knee rises. On your exhale, just bring the knee to the chest, but keep that heel toward your butt. You can plank it or not. And inhale, knee to the ceiling. You decide how far forward you come into plank, but keep that heel squeezed in so the hamstring's always working. Just go 2 more times, back and forth, with the knee dropping into the chest at center point, and then lifting up toward the ceiling. And we'll just meet in a regular downward dog in a moment. With both feet on the ground, let's separate them again to hips width. Press the heels down. And bring the feet together and try the left side. So first bring the knee center chest, heel to your butt. And inhale, knee up. Bring the knee in again. You decide if you rock forward or not. And bring the knee up. A lot of cracking and popping happening in my hips at this moment. But if that is not happening to you, congratulations. Hopefully that means you were not skipping yoga for the past 10 days. So we'll meet again in the normal downward dog with feet separated about hips width. Inhale yourself to plank and exhale to chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Heels up high, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, and jump forward. Inhale when you get there. Fold head to shins, exhale. Bend into the knees, Utkatasana, inhale. Twist to the right, hook your left elbow, exhale. We'll just stay here for a moment, lift your chest up. So your thumb is not by your shoulder. Thumb is right at center, either by the collarbone or between your boobs. And untwist. Just reach forward and sit a little bit lower into your chair. So your arms are roughly parallel to the ground. Belly in. So it's not just splay down on your thighs. And straighten the legs on your exhale and fold. Halfway up, inhale. Step or jump, chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Let's step the feet together again. Lift the right leg up to the ceiling, stack your hip so the leg goes higher. And keep your knee there, just kick yourself in the butt for the exhale. And straighten your leg for the inhale. So it's really just your lower leg moving. Exhale to squeeze it in. Inhale, extend it up. One more time. Just finding that hamstring. Lower that right foot down. Heels up high, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, and pull yourself forward, feet to hands. Inhale when you get there. Fold, exhale. Bend to the knees, inhale. And we'll twist to the left. Hook your right elbow. And if your thumbs feel like they're stuck at the shoulder, lean back a little bit more and push your top hand more firmly into your bottom hand. Don't be afraid to lean back. You're squeezing your knees together so you have this stable place to push against. If you push your elbow harder into your leg, you're not going to fall over. Okay, we'll untwist. Reach forward, sitting low in this variation on Utkatasana. Weight is in the heels. Practice bringing your belly in. Next, exhale, fold straight legs. Halfway up, inhale. Into chaturanga, exhale. Step or jump. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left leg up high, inhale. Stack your hip. Kick yourself in the butt, exhale. Legs straight, inhale. Kick yourself in the butt, exhale. One more time. We'll just lower that foot down. Do a nice normal downward dog. Let's separate the feet again to hips width. Practice pushing into your fingers. That's what's going to bring your chest closer to your legs. Think about your fingertips. Bring yourself forward to plank. So you're literally going to pull yourself into plank. Then push back, downward dog again. And heels up high, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale. Now pull yourself to jump your feet between your hands. Inhale when you get there. Fold, exhale. Utkatasana, inhale. Knees bend, arms up. Take it to that halfway version. So you're just looking at your toes basically, and you're trying to lift your thumbs up toward the ceiling. And squat and have a seat on your butt. Lift your feet off the ground. So the knees are still pretty close to the chest. Just try to balance. And try to rock a little bit forward. Not so far forward that your feet come down again, but just a little bit forward so you're not so far on the tailbone. Either stay there or straight legs. And we'll return to our squat. So feet come down, lean forward, lift your butt. Utkatasana. On your exhale, fold straight legs. Halfway up, inhale. And just send the left leg back. Exhale. So we're just going to lunge. Straighten the front leg. Inhale, you can flex your foot. Bend it again, exhale. One more time, inhale, straight leg. Exhale, bend the leg. This time, lower your left knee to the floor. Reach for opposite elbows. Anjaneyasana. We'll try to square up our forearms to that top edge of the mat. That'll help us square the ribs and the hips. Take one more breath. And release the hands down, back foot forward, inhale. And right foot back, exhale. We're in that lunge on the other side, just straighten your left leg, inhale. Bend it again, exhale. You're pushing away with the heel for your inhale, and you're pulling yourself in to exhale. And bring the back knee down, Anjaneyasana. Hold opposite elbows the way that feels a little weird. And pull them back as you bend your front knee more. I don't think you guys can hear it because Zoom filters some things out. But it sounds like my neighbor's having a singing lesson this morning. It's pretty cute. They're doing like vocal scales with weird pronunciations. Okay, let's release the hands down. Step into plank. Inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Right leg to the ceiling. Inhale, stack your hip. Knee to the chest, rounded plank. Exhale. Leg up high again, inhale. Use that same curling action to step your foot between your hands. Just end up in that lunge again. Lower the back knee, so it's Anjaneyasana. Inhale to Ardha Hanumanasana. Straight front leg. Exhale to Anjaneyasana. Just one more time like that. So you're pushing into your heel to get your leg straight, and you're pulling to get your leg bent. We'll relift the back knee. Simple twist. Right arm up. Lean back. We'll turn this into that version of side plank that works the hip. So we'll spin all 10 toes to the right edge of the mat and walk this front foot back a little bit. If your hip is very open, you won't have to walk your foot back very far. But if it feels tight, you might want your right foot all the way back a bit. So you find that sweet spot for you and practice leaning the shoulders back. It feels somewhat like pigeon in that right hip. With your top arm, reach over the ear, pinky finger angling down, as you would Parshvakonasana. Take one more breath. And we'll lower the hand, step back, vinyasa. Okay, for the other side, left leg high, inhale. Knee to the chest, round your back, exhale. Leg up high again, inhale. Do that same action in your core so you can step forward and get your foot to clear your hands. Lower the back knee. Inhale for Ardha Hanuman. Your hands can be anywhere you want. Exhale for Anjaneyasana. Inhale, push the ground away from you. And exhale, pull your hips forward and down. Okay, we lift that back knee. Simple twist. So we're just keeping that left knee over the ankle if possible. If you notice that your knee is splaying out, that's a different pose. So think of this front knee moving toward that right shoulder. Let's take another breath like that. So you're controlling that ball of your left foot pushing down. And when you're ready, start to walk the foot back a bit. Turn all toes to the left. Keep that back ankle strong. The outer ankle bone of your right leg is not on the ground. When you're ready, extend the top arm over the ear, reach through your fingertips, and angle your pinky finger down. So there's a rotation in your shoulder. You can look at that top hand. And we'll lower the hand down and step to downward dog or vinyasa. From down dog, lift your heels high, inhale. Let's take puppy. Push your chest towards your thighs and bend your knees. Keep your arms straight. And just take a breath there. Notice how your fingers are pushing you back. We'll return to this place in a moment. After your exhale, jump your feet between your hands. You just pulled yourself forward and push yourself back again, return to puppy. Do that 2 or 3 more times. Just practice the push-pull of your fingers. That's a lot of the success that we have or don't have in handstands and Pinchamayurasanas. The next time your feet are forward, keep them there and just meet in Utkatasana. Knees bent, arms up. Bring your hands to prayer, right ankle to the lower left thigh, flying pigeon, chest to shin. If your chest actually does get to your shin, you're going to notice your arms are kind of in the way. So then just do something else with your arms. Take one more breath. We'll return to a balance, step the right foot back, and just pivot around for warrior two with the right leg bent. And it's fine if now you can't see the screen, there's nothing to see, it's just warrior two. We're trying to get our right knee to bend about 90 degrees, so the knee is over that right ankle, the shin bone is vertical. The next inhale, just straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend it again. Inhale, straighten, crack, pop. Exhale, bend. Again, for me, crack, pop. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, first version of Parshvottanasana. Elbow to the thigh, left arm up. This is just going to help us twist a little bit extra. So we'll start to lean back more. We'll let those left knuckles move toward the ground. And just open the pecs of the left chest. When you're ready, if you want, shoulder rolls forward so you can bring your hand behind your back and get your fingers to your inner thigh. Once you're there, instead of looking up or out like you would normally, just look straight ahead in the direction your chest is facing and drop your ear to your shoulder. Just so you stretch the left side of your neck a little bit more. Okay, unravel yourself, rise up, and just pivot around to the other side, vinyasa. Hands down, step back. Exhale, elbows graze your ribs. Inhale, you pull your chest through your arms. Exhale, you push yourself back. Heels up high, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, and jump forward. Inhale when you get there. Fold, exhale. Bend into the knees, Utkatasana. Left ankle to lower right thigh. Flex that left foot. Because a lot of you know the arm balances that come out of this pose. If you do ever want to move toward those arm balances, there's a lot of other stuff to think about besides this left ankle. So you need to just get that ankle behaving right from when you start playing with this hip pose. So that later it just knows. It won't need your undivided attention. Okay, we'll rise up. Keep your balance as you step back to the lunge. And pivot around, warrior two. I will jump around. Ooh, sweaty sweat. Okay, we'll straighten that front leg. Inhale. Bend, exhale. Straighten, inhale. Bend, exhale. Try to keep the ribs and collarbones facing the long edge of the mat the whole time. We'll meet with that knee bent. Place the elbow on the thigh. Right arm just straight up to the ceiling. Pause there. And start to reach your right arm back so your knuckles are moving toward the ground. The palm is still facing the ceiling. And just let that open the right pecs. Your legs will have to be stronger as you lean back. And if you want, shoulder rolls in so that you can bring your hand around. And you'll just try to grab your thigh. It may or may not work. Look straight in the direction your chest is facing. And just drop left ear to shoulder. So that you feel a stretch in the right side of the neck. Slowly unravel yourself, rise up, and just pivot around vinyasa. Or downward dog if you're tired. Okay. Headstand number 1. So we'll come into tabletop. Those of you new to headstand, you're just going to work on getting up. So let's come to the Baddha Hasta A position. We're going to measure our elbows. Make sure they're not too wide. Interlace the fingers. You have a triangle. Head down, knees up. Walk your feet in. For this time, walk your feet in as far as you can, then bend your knees to the chest, and just be in a little ball. Some of you, this will be a very frustrating position. It's really hard. You might just do one leg at a time. When you can, unwind yourself and lift your legs up to vertical. That might not be today. Once you feel comfortable in vertical, bring your right ankle to your lower left thigh and find that flying pigeon feeling just upside down. So you're bringing your shin close to your chest. And slowly reach up again with the leg so that you can change side. And if you're working on getting your balance, you're not going to bother with these leg positions at the moment. You're just going to practice getting your butt more over your forearms. Those of you that have done both sides with the flying pigeon, you'll rewind. So you'll lift your legs to vertical, and you'll start to curl into that little ball again, so that your knees are close to your chest. And lower your toes down, push into your forearms so your head comes off the ground. And let's just walk the feet back a little bit more so we can turn it into a normal downward dog. You'll separate the hand to your down dog V, and straighten the arms. You're in a normal down dog again. Okay, right leg high to the ceiling. Inhale. Step to the hands. Round your back as you do that. Lower the back knee down. Lizard. I'm going to face this way. Let's do the nice lizard. So we'll put the hands on the inside. We'll turn that front foot 45 degrees out, and we'll let that knee move away. It's like pigeon, but way easier, because we don't have to deal with this ankle so much. If you want, come to your elbows. If you want, lift your back knee. The goal here is to feel something in your right hip. It shouldn't hurt anywhere. Okay, we'll come to the palms again. I'm going to turn because my floor is slippery with my sweaty little hands. So from here, we're going to find a side plank. We'll rock to the knife's edge of the left foot, hold the right shin, and pull the knee into your armpit. So it's similar to the other side plank. You could return to that if you prefer. The difference would just be where is your leg, what is your hip doing. We'll release that right foot back, normal plank, side plank I should say. Then find your normal plank. And let's find a full vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. Left leg high, inhale. Round your back. Bring your knee to your chest. Step your foot forward. Lizard. Turn the left foot out. You choose whether your back knee is down. Sometimes it's nice to start with it down because then your hips get pretty low. And the stretch for this right hip flexor is pretty awesome. Then you can lift the knee when you want. There should be no pain in your left knee. If there is, you might want to try changing the angle that your left foot is facing. Those of you with wrist issues, instead of coming to a normal side plank, just stay under forearm. It's no big deal, and it's actually really fun. So choose palm or forearm. Find your side plank. So rock to the outer edge, the knife's edge of that right foot, and either practice the version we did before, or pull your knee in. Hips are up regardless of which version you chose. Make your way to a normal plank. Exhale when you're ready for chaturanga. Inhale, and we'll meet in downward dog. Let's lift the heels high, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, and jump forward. Inhale when you get there. Let's separate the feet hips width. And inhale again, just to bring your chest away from your thighs. And as you exhale, bend your knees, wrap your arms around the back of your leg. So right around right leg, left around left leg, crisscross applesauce. So the arms will come in through the center, wrists will cross, and hands will hold opposite shin bones. Then just start straightening your legs any bit that you can. You'll notice it's very sort of tight in there, claustrophobic. There's not a lot of room to move. So the way to get the movement is to try pushing down into the floor with your feet to get your butt higher. And rocking just a little bit forward on the feet so you're not only hanging out in the heels. You have to bring it into the balls of your feet. Okay, slowly release. Bend the knees, have a seat. Lift the legs any amount. So even if they're just like an inch off the ground, that's really good practice for not hanging out too far back. And when you're ready, legs straight. We'll return to a squat. However you need to do that is the way to go. Utkatasana. And just stand up, hands to prayer. Step the right foot back for triangle pose. We'll just pivot around like we would in Ashtanga land. The right arm will reach toward the back edge of the mat. Inhale. And hand will come down, exhale. To the shin, the block, or the floor, or the foot. Let's do the same arms we did earlier in partial konasana. So start to lean back. The left palm up, the knuckles down. Just pause and let the pecs open. Either stay like that or turn your shoulder in a forward rotation and reach your arm around your back for your right thigh. Then the same thing with the neck. Look forward, drop the ear. Keep leaning back. Dropping the ear doesn't mean we lost the triangle aspect of the pose. Okay, unravel. Quarter turn to the left. Prasarita Padottanasana A. Hands between the feet. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, head down. If you can't get your head down, no worries. You could put a block there. You could let your head just be in space. Or you could try separating your feet a little bit more. You don't want to go too crazy because you want to still be able to control everything with your legs. Okay, straighten the arms, inhale. Hands to hips, exhale. Rise up, inhale. And just pivot for triangle facing the left leg. Reach out as far as you can. Then let your hand come down. So the hips are going to push back and the armpit is going to reach forward. And that is true regardless of what arm positions you've chosen. So when you're ready, lean the top shoulder back, lean the arm back, reach back. Scoot your left hip further under you. And maybe roll your shoulder in so you can reach around. Then you literally can grip with your fingers. And a lot of the time I see folks want their thumb on one side and their four fingers on the other. That's going to limit you. Bring your thumb to the same side of your thigh as your four fingers. Because then you can walk it way further in. Looking forward, drop your ear to the shoulder. Okay, we'll unravel. Quarter turn to the right. Prasarita C. So you might do it right from here, interlace your fingers. You might need to stand up first, your choice. When your fingers are interlacing, inhale to straight arms and exhale to let gravity take you over. Each inhale, reach your fingers away from you, and each exhale, just rock one tiny little bit toward the balls of your foot. Nothing dramatic, you're always in control of it. Just inching your way to a deeper pose. Okay, we'll rise all the way up on an inhale. Hands to the hips. I'm just scooting this way, but you're fine. We're going to turn the right foot to the back edge of the mat, Ardha Chandrasana. Slide that right hand down and forward, left leg up. Try to look up, chin toward left shoulder. And if you can, hold your ankle and kick. So that kicking back would do the same thing for your bottom leg as reaching back would in triangle. It will inspire you to scoop your right hip further under you, further forward. Okay, let the leg go if you have it. Big step back again, just so we can change sides. I'm going to scoop to your flank. Bend into the left leg enough to lower the fingers. Lift the right leg up. First, just find your balance in Ardha Chandrasana. Decide if you need a block for your left hand. You want your left leg as straight as you can get it. Then reach for your top foot or ankle. And start to kick. Bring your heel away from your butt. And notice how you're pushing your hips forward in order to get your hips further away from your toes to create a bigger arc. That is what you do in Scorpion. Release the foot if you have it. Take a big step back. Straighten the left leg. Quarter turn to the side. Prasarita D. Hands to the hips. Inhale. We'll fold forward. Exhale. Reach for the big toes. Inhale, chest up. Fold forward. Exhale. Feel free to stay here. Or interlace your fingers, forearms down. We're going to do Baddhasana, Shirsasana A, just with a side split. So we won't even be lifting our legs very high. We're just going to rock to the toes. And then we'll keep this feeling of a side split. We'll just lift our legs roughly parallel to the ground. So you're still getting that feeling in the legs and hamstrings as you would in Prasarita D. It's just kind of fun to do that rocking forward. So those of you that rocked into headstand, bring your legs down again. We'll all release hands to the floor, straighten the arms. And let's pivot to the right, Anjaneyasana with the right leg bent. Hands to the knee. We're just opening this left hip flexor. Nothing crazy. When you're ready, you're going to reach your left hand back. And instead of pulling your foot towards you, you're going to let your heel move away. So we're just trying to make this space between butt and foot a little bigger. So the way to do that is to let your arm be straight and to bend your front knee more. Drop the hips lower. And while you're doing this, try to keep facing squarely to that short edge of your mat so that you're really opening the left pecs. Take a deep breath, relax your left thigh. And release the hand, straighten the front leg. You might need to scoot your left knee back a little bit, half split. We'll keep the leg straight, just pivot the hip so the toes angle to the side. It's just a little swivel with the hip. If that's easy for you, walk your foot more to the left, whatever amount, so that you can be excited, and it's the same swivel. If you've walked your foot pretty far to the left, hands will be on the other side of your shin. You can try coming to the elbows. It's very gnarly when you get down there. It just shows us that there's never an end to these ridiculous poses. One more breath. And let's turn it into pigeon. So if you're on your forearms, return to hands, and then just negotiate your right foot into your pigeon position. whatever that means. And we'll try the same thing with that left hand. So it's going to be a little trickier, perhaps. Your right hand, you can put it on your thigh or knee and help you square up. And you want to kick so hard with your back leg that you're not tempted to be down here somewhere with your torso. Very clearly an upward facing pigeon, and that's because your back leg is kicking you into this position. Feel free to take a different pigeon variation or let go of the leg and come into Hanumanasana. Just straighten out your front leg and support yourself with your hands or with blocks or with blankets. I don't really love blocks in this pose because it's such a set height. A blanket is a little more adjustable. If you don't have a yoga blanket, you could just use a sweatshirt, a towel, anything. Okay, we'll make our way to side split. Those of you who are in pigeon, it's going to take you an extra moment, but don't worry, because we can be here forever, and it will still not be a boring pose. You could be up on your hands, or you could be down on your butt. We're going to try to get the legs to stay straight, kneecaps to face up, feet to stay flexed. Okay, and to get out of this, it's the rocking forward. If that doesn't work for you, do it some other way. We're going to meet in Prasarita so that we can try one more headstand from here. So if you lean forward, you'll get your butt off the ground. Then you have to walk your hands forward and lean your shoulders further forward. From there, the feet can walk in and it's no problem. Once you get your feet to a nice comfortable space where you know they're controlling the weight, lower to your forearms. Some of you, that's going to be the challenge. And then you just stay there and let your hamstrings open. When you can, place your head, lift your legs. Once you're comfortable with your legs in this split shape, we're going to just bring the feet together. So we're in an L shape. I'll turn a different direction. And widen them again to the side split. And then bring them into an L again. So you can see your toes. They're just kind of skirting the upper view. And you'll notice how much your shoulders are working to control you. They're getting really strong. The next time that your legs are wide, just lower your feet back down to the ground. And we'll straighten the arms. We'll walk over to the left leg for Anjaneyasana. This was like an hour ago that we did this side. So first, just hands to the knee. Open through this right hip flexor. And when you can, reach back and just let your weight sink forward and down. This is one of those less is more poses. So if you can relax your shoulder and relax your right thigh, you will feel it more. But your front leg is working like mad. Your front heel is digging into the floor to help you bend your front knee deeper. Okay, let that go. Half split. So the adjustment of the back leg, back knee, is determined by how can you get this right leg vertical. You don't want your knee real far forward because then you end up kind of back here with your butt on your heel. That's pretty ineffective for your hamstring at your level of the game. So bring that leg back a bit. And when you're ready, IT band stretch, you just swivel from your hip. And don't let your foot do anything weird. Your ankles still flex. Just deal with the humility of what the outer left leg feels like. Whew. If you're a runner, you might feel this more. That might mean that you should include it a few more times a week. You could even, if you're done with your run, you could put your phone right here, do your little texting, your little whatever, while you're in the stretch. It doesn't have to be a spiritual experience. Just get it done. Okay, we'll return to hands. Walk your foot into pigeon. You decide how far away you want your foot to be from that right hip. When you can, reach back. So it's tempting to be kind of forward in pigeon because then the back feels a little more open. We want to reach a point in our lives where our back does not hurt from upward facing pigeon. But it takes a long time and a lot of dedication. So you're trying to lift through the low belly. There have been classes where we're talking about that zipping up feeling from the pubic bone up to the belly button. You have to do that here. And then you have to kick like crazy with your back leg. And it should be a pain-free existence. If it's not, you adjust the pose and you just stay dedicated to your practice, and eventually, we hope, it works out. Okay, let go of that back leg. Either stay in whatever version of pigeon or find Hanumanasana. Back toes can be tucked or not. Traditionally, they're not tucked. But sometimes when they're not tucked, people are overzealous to get onto that left hip and end up facing the sort of edge or diagonal of the mat. So you might want to tuck your back toes and make it more like a lunge. And you're pushing with the ball of your back foot to bring your right hip forward. If the hip comes forward, you will not end up cheating, and you will be very slow to get your left hip down. Okay, Samukhanasana, take your time getting there. To warm up the back, we will go to a little version of peacock. I'm just going to turn this way. Some of you, this will not be appropriate or any fun at all, so we'll meet in downward dog. Those of you who think it will be fun, hands by your inner thighs, lift your butt. Walk your feet a little bit forward. So now you're just going to take like a chaturanga with your arms. You'll bring your chin down. Once your chin gets down, now it's up to your back and your butt to get your legs up. It's not so bad. It looks bad, but it's not so bad. You can either chaturanga out of there or lower your feet back to where they were. A lot of that will depend on what kind of space you have in your house. It's no easier or harder to go one way or the other. You just don't want to kick anything. Okay, lower to the knees. Come down to the forearms. Measure out your elbow distance. And place your hands parallel forearms. Just inhale to arch. Exhale to round. Just like you did before, except now our elbows are bent. Inhale, arch. You'll notice there's not quite as much movement. Last time. Hopefully when you were doing this, your hands did not migrate together. Okay, we'll meet in a neutral back. Try to dig your fingers into the floor so that they don't migrate. Lift your knees. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. Lift your left leg to the ceiling. Come onto the tippy toes of your right foot and either stay there or give yourself a little nudge to a Pincha Mayurasana with a split leg. So your left leg is reaching back. But still the feeling of left toes on the ceiling, right toes on the floor, it's just up. And come down again. Take a breath, and we'll just try the other side. It starts all the same way, just right leg up to the ceiling. Left toes are just playing with the ground. And just give yourself the littlest of nudge. So it still feels split-like. And we'll meet in down dog B. Check if your hands migrated or if your elbows slid out. Eventually you want enough control in the shoulder that it stayed exactly how you started. Okay, straighten the arms. Walk the hands back to the feet. Bend the knees and roll up to standing. Okay, let me just check in with time. Okay, we're going going to reach our right hand back to the inside of the foot, like you did with pigeon. And as soon as I reach back, this tends to happen. So we have to be more in control of that zipping up in the front. So keep on that kind of upward feeling. So right hand to ankle, left arm up. And just start to kick so that your leg lifts away from your butt. And at some point, your upper body will start to come down a bit. You can stay anywhere in this trajectory. Some of you will want to bring your left fingers to the ground. Doesn't matter if that happens. If it does, it should feel good. Don't overdo anything. And to come up again, you're going to kick a little harder with your back leg. Let's keep our balance as we bring our right knee to face the ground. And then just pull it around to your chest. Interlace your fingers on your shin and bring your knee in and up. Try to keep your knee where it is. Slip your hands away and reach to the ceiling. Flex your ankle. Keep reaching. Like your flying pigeon, reach forward. And just like we did before, we're going to come through that little squat onto our butt. So if you lower your fingers, keep leaning forward, lift your left heel, and walk your hands back and gently place your butt on the ground. So we end up in this baby cradle place. You can keep your hands on the ground and lean forward, or wrap around your leg. One more breath here. We'll find a Gomukhasana Anusara style. So we're going to stay on our butt and bring our right thigh on top of our left. If your hips are open today, every day is going to be different, you're going to get your shins roughly in a straight line. If you feel a little more tight, just pull your heels towards your hips. So either spot, try to even yourself out. So don't be leaning over to one side. If you're leaning, wedge something under your butt. When you can, right arm up and over, fingers by shoulder blades, left arm under and around. Press your head into your right arm. Your left hand does not have to be around the back also. You can just keep your left hand on your right elbow. But don't let your chin drop to your chest. Keep opening your throat. Keep sitting tall. Okay, slowly release your arms. Lean back a little bit so that you can unfold your legs, lift your legs. And vinyasa at your leisure. We'll meet in downward dog. And from down dog, we'll walk our hands back to our feet. Bend the knees, belly in, roll up. Articulate your back. Let your head be super heavy until that last moment. Okay, variation on dancer. Side 2. So starting with the hand on the inside of the foot, check in with your back shape. So you don't want to splay everything just because you took your grip. Imagine your hip bones and your lowest ribs are actually moving toward each other. So this front section of your body is actually getting more compressed. And start to kick. Keep reaching with your right arm. And you let your right hamstring decide how far down does your right hand want to go. How far down does your chest want to go? And regardless of how far you went, keep kicking into your hand. It should be a little tiring for that left leg. Especially if you've gone all the way down and we have to get that up again. Woo! Woo! I'm losing my balance. Okay. Eventually we get up again. Take your time bringing your knee to the center. Interlace your fingers. Don't lean back. To get your knee in closer, just bend your elbows. And try to keep the knee there when you reach up. Tricky. So Keep reaching, like your fingers are running away from your armpits. Flex your foot, flying pigeon. You're taking the biggest arc you can with your fingertips. And when you can, bring your fingertips down. Lean forward so your right heel comes off the ground. And walk your fingers back and bring your butt down. So you're in baby cradle. Maybe reach around your leg. Okay. Gomukhasana. So thigh as close crossed as you can. Decide where your feet need to go. And when you can, arms reach back. Head presses back. So our left elbow, we're trying to get it pretty much straight to the ceiling. If we end up kind of curled forward, our elbow will be pointing forward. So unravel yourself. Open the front of the throat. Okay, we'll slowly get out of there. Lean back a little bit, lift the legs up. And vinyasa, however you'd like, we'll meet in downward dog. So we're going to try Gomukhasana legs through headstand. They'll be more like eagle legs because we can take it further and actually cross the ankles as well. Those of you working on headstand, just keep working on that. It will take a long time. You can use walls if you have it. We can video conference later to work out your spacing in your house. So we'll take dolphin, interlace the fingers. Feel free to stay there forever. When you want, walk your feet in, lower your head. And just practice walking your feet in until it's comfortable. There should be no jumping, no kicking, just a slow ascent. When you feel comfortable getting up there, cross your right thigh over your left. Start to bend your knees and potentially get your foot hooked behind your ankle. You can bring your knees as close to your chest as you want. And then you'll unravel. And you'll find your neutral headstand again, which you'll notice is way easier than any variation thereof. So when you're ready for the other side, you cross your other thigh, cross your ankle, pull it in. Take your time, try to balance yourself on each side. And those of you coming out of a full headstand, for today, curl into a little ball. Gently lower your toes, and then just push into your hands so your head comes up. Just so you're unraveling. Let's lower to the knees, and just straighten the arms, downward dog. Right leg forward. Parsvakonasana, a different version. So your right hand is already on the floor. Let's lower the left heel down and open up like we would Parsvakonasana, just put the left hand on the hip. If this is too much for you to have your right hand on the floor, just do this. Not a big deal. Okay, let's move that left hand. We're going to reach it up and overhead. See how that felt to go that path. And reach it up again. We'll go a different path. Now we're going to sweep the thumb down toward the floor so our palm grazes our inner left leg. And then we'll sweep it to the same spot. We just got there a different way. And just see what your shoulder thought of path A or path B. There is no right answer. Okay, Anjaneyasana. Back knee down. Hands to the right thigh. We'll reach for the inside of the left foot, like you did before. Except this time, instead of letting the foot always move back, we're going to try to pull it in. And we'll try to get our elbow to the toes. So that would require your heel being close enough to your butt. So if it's not close enough to your butt, just keep your hand on your foot. Don't worry about the elbow. If your foot is on your elbow, it means your left hand is free. Reach your right arm up and over, take the grip. And you'll notice the hard part is squaring yourself to the short edge of the mat. Okay, slowly get out of there. Either vinyasa or spinyasa, whatever you need to do for your own self and for the logistics of your space. We're going to meet with our lunge, hands flat, and we'll attempt to get into Parshvakonasana from here. So we just lower the back heel, and we start to scoop the left hip under. That's how we get our chest to open to the long edge of the mat. Adjust your left hand as needed, right arm up, and start to reach overhead. Rotating your shoulders here, pinky finger angles down. And if you know which way you like to go, maybe you don't have to try both ways with me right now, it's fine. Otherwise, reach up again. Your palms are going to face back as you sweep your arm down. And for some people, that shoulder is just an easier rotation because it's sort of already set up. The end result is the same. And you're looking at your right palm. And we'll lower the hand, find your Anjaneyasana, hands to that left knee. When you can, reach back. So there's still a bit of relaxation that has to happen here. In order to get your heel closer to your butt, you could just use your arm strength, or you could use your right hamstring, because if you didn't have your arm, you would still be able to get your heel closer to your butt, it's just your hamstring. So try to relax your quads a little bit. Slide your elbow to your toes if you can, and reach up and around. Keep trying to bring your right hip forward. Two more breaths. Okay, and we'll slowly get out of there. Take your time moving through vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. Okay, I'm just going to spin around. We're going to take a few little handstand hops. And if you've never fallen out of this, it's sort of an automatic thing. You won't have to think about it too much. I'm going to show you what it looks like to fall out of it. I know in Nook you don't have the space to fall out. You're going to go very conservative. If you have the space to fall out, this is what would happen. I'm going to overshoot, and I end up doing a little cartwheel. You don't even have to think about the little cartwheel. Your hand will move, your body will go on autopilot. 9 out of 10 times. So be as conservative as you want. Let's start by rocking our shoulder forward, so they're over the knuckles. Then step one foot in, kick with the other leg. And with the leg that's kicking, you're going to try to overshoot your midline a little bit. And as soon as your legs get up, straighten your arms as much as you can. Let's meet back in a downward dog. We'll rock forward to plank and lower down to the belly. Shavasana C. Interlace your fingers. And first just put your knuckles on your tailbone. And try to nudge your tailbone toward your heels a little bit. And as soon as you do that, you're going to feel your belly button lift a little bit off the mat. Keep that feeling. And then come up a little higher, straighten the arms. So we want to feel like the pubic bone is pressing into the floor. The belly button lifting up toward the spine. If you want, you can lift your legs. You can squeeze your legs together. And come on down. Hands under the shoulders. Curl into up dog or cobra. Inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Let's walk the hands back to the feet. Bend the knees, belly in, roll up, nice and slow. Okay, let's take right hand to the upper shin, left hand to the hip. Feel free to stay like this, or take hold of the outer edge of your foot. So to do that, you have to lean forward a little bit, and you get your grip, and start to extend the leg. Either stay there or left hand also to the foot. Start to bend your elbows, pull your leg a little bit higher. Maybe bring your head to your shin bone. Dancing. Okay. Rewind from wherever you went. And we'll just try the other side. So this is just getting our legs a little bit more prepped for handstand. This is an actual pose, but we're kind of cutting it off at the full pose. So find either shin or foot with your left hand. Send the leg out if you want. Try to keep that left shoulder rolling back. Right hand to the foot if you want. You lift the leg a little bit higher, bring your head down. Try to control your reverse. So right hand to the hip, bend the knee, and let it go. Okay, downward dog. So we'll just do the handstand again. The leg that is lifting, you can let the hip open, because then the leg will get higher. Then just square up when you can. Just practice keeping your arms really straight, like you're repulsed by the floor. And we'll meet in downward dog. Take your time. We'll rock forward to plank again and lower down to the belly. We're going to start in that same Shalabhasana C. Interlace your fingers. Nudge your tailbone toward your heels. And lift your chest and shoulders up. Either stay like this or bend your knees, so that's your hamstrings working, and bring your ankles to your hands. Then kick. You wind up in Dhanurasana, low pose. So your arms are the string of the bow. They're straight, taut. Let's slowly come on down. Hands under the shoulders. Cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale. And downward dog exhale. I found my little sweat rag. I'm going to grab it. Oh, yes. Okay. So you decide if you want handstand or Pinchamayurasana. Pincha is going to be more back bendy, so maybe that suits you. I'm actually going to watch you guys for this, just in case I can give you any direction. So if you feel like you need more back bend today, I encourage you to do Pincha, because then you can pull your chest through. But if you feel sore in that way, try handstand instead. Jules, keep your arms straighter. Yes. Carol, look forward. Nice. Okay. So have a look-see at your screens for a sec. So this is very normal. What's happening, I'm going to face kind of the diagonal because of the shadows. So as soon as the legs go up for handstand, this kind of is happening with the elbows. They're going out to the side. So think a little bit more about squeezing your elbows in so this little crease faces front. I know there's a lot happening, so this little detail is kind of annoying. But if you're in handstand like this, you're just relying on your muscles to hold you, and it's not sustainable. So you have to go more here. And just try it again, thinking about that, see what happens. Let's see, Miss Jules. Don't knock over Miss Sally, though. If Jules falls down in this, she's going to land on the cutest dog that ever walked the earth. Okay, actually, that looks better. very good. Okay. Let's meet in downward dog again. From down dog, we'll rock forward to plank and lower down to the belly. We're going to try Dhanurasana again, but this time with wrists crossed, which is very weird. So we're going to reach our left hand to our right ankle. And to do that, I need to lean to the left, otherwise I can't get the grip. Once you get the grip, lean the other way. Slide your right hand under your left forearm and reach for your left ankle. So we want our wrists to cross, not our feet. To make sure that's happening, touch the inner edges of your feet together. Then you'll know there's a boundary there. And then you just kick like you would normally in Dhanurasana. You just end up with this crazy chest opener. A little more extreme than your previous Dhanurasana. Just take one more breath, kick as hard as you can, and then let it go. We're going to try the other side so the other hand is crossed under. So this time we're going to lean a little to the, what side would it be? Leaning to the right to get the left, and we'll slide the left under and try to get the right. So it's pretty common that people cross their ankles instead. If you touch your inner feet together, that will be impossible. And when you're set up, kick. Try to get your heels far away from your butt. Open the throat. Okay, and come on down. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. Okay. Let's try a Pinchamayurasana with a little bit more back bend. So you've done quite a few back bends, whether you realize it or not. We're going to flirt with normal pincha. Go 3 more inches, normal pincha, 3 more inches, just going back and forth in your range. Nothing crazy. First, just lower to your forearms, lift your knees. If you're working on the pincha balance, just do that. If you're using a wall, your feet are going to move on the wall. When you come into a deeper back bend, your feet will be lower. When you decrease your back bend, your feet will be higher. So just practice that. Same with your hips. Your hips will be further from the wall when you're more bent, closer to the wall when you're more upright. And we'll meet in down dog B after you've tried that a few times. I like to just use the gaze to put me in place A or place B. Looking forward will put you more in a back bend. Let's straighten the arms and come through to have a seat. Okay, we're going to take like 2 more back bends and then do some forward bending sitting pose type things. So let's lower the soles of the feet to the floor. Either Setu Bandha, hands interlace under the back, or Urdhva Dhanurasana, hands go by your shoulders, and you lift to straight arms. Whichever you're choosing, take about 5 breaths. And it's a similar thing to your handstand, where you're trying to get your arms really straight. We'll come on down. It's a little harder to get the arms straight there than in handstand, but we still try. Okay, let's do 1 more back bend from our backs. Hands by the shoulders. Lift up on an inhale. Three, 4, and 5. Come on down. Okay, so if you're not comfortable with Pinchamayurasana, you can do another back bend from there. Otherwise, we're going to come on up. You can either watch me once and then do it, or you can just do it twice, because I'm going to do it once and then I'm going to watch you guys. I want you to realize how your hips move in relation to your feet. So if you decide to watch me once, I'll talk you through that. But feel free to ignore me and just go into it. So first you find pincha. Then I'm going to push my hips. Ooh, I lost it. I'm going to push my hips opposite my feet. If I had a wall there, it would be away from the wall. Then I'll look forward. And as I bend my knees, I'm still thinking of pushing hips away from fingers. Then the chin comes up. You'll notice if you were watching me, my toes did not touch my head. I just don't have the flexibility for that. But the path is the same. So you try. Either try the first time or try the second time. And the flexibility thing is only part of it. So more important, I think, to find your balance and go very slow. And enter it in a skilled and controlled way. Because the flexibility, doesn't really matter. It's sustainability. Nice, Ashley. Keep looking forward. You got that. Okay. Very good. Katie, I like the control. You were going real slow. Julie, I couldn't quite see where you were looking because the camera's not on your head. So just general rule of thumb, if you're trying to deepen your back bend, just look further forward. If you're in handstand, you're not going to look forward too much unless you're trying to do a back bend handstand. Otherwise, in normal handstand, you're just going to look sort of in this triangle region by your hands. So let's try one more handstand, and then we're going to go to our butt. And the handstand can just help unravel you from your back bend. So when you decide where your hands are going to be, you can either look between your thumbs or maybe 6 inches or so forward. But it wouldn't be as dramatic as your scorpion. And just remember that thing about keeping your arms straight. Go slow. Keep leaning your shoulders forward. And we'll meet in a downward dog. So when I was telling you arms straight, shoulders forward, I was really telling myself. My little mantra in my head. That was my dialogue. Okay, let's jump through, have a seat. We are done with back bends. Let's take Janu Sirsasana A, because we love it. Right foot, left thigh. Twist, hold your foot, fold. I only got a little bit of feedback from you guys about your opinions of primary series and the intro to primary. I would love to hear more. Okay, let's rise up, just change legs. So we want our thighs about 90 degrees apart. And you have to twist to fold over your straight leg. Okay, let's rise up. We'll bring the legs together. So we're just sitting in like a Dandasana shape. Let's put the hands by the hips. Sit up tall and just drop the right ear to the right shoulder. But don't lean. Keep pushing your left hand down. And just head up, go the other way. It's very similar to what you did earlier. Just keep pushing your right hand down. If this hurts you in any way, you should be doing this more often. Soon it will feel like nothing. If I do this a lot, it feels like nothing. Okay, bring the head up again. And let's gradually roll down to the back. Just take your time. Let your knees bend a little as you get down there. And then we'll take goalpost arms. And we'll bend the knees like we're sitting in a chair. And just drop the knees over to the left side. and bring them up again. Then drop them to the right, and bring them up again. One more time each way. You can go one knee at a time to center if it's hurting you at all. Okay, then lift the legs up to an L shape. Keep hold of the right knee, just in the chest, and start to extend the left leg out about 45 degrees. And notice how your back is pushing into the floor. Keep that, lower your left leg further, but don't let your low back lift. Keep pushing it into the floor. And change your grip so you're interlacing your fingers on your hamstring. Your thigh is still glued to your chest, and just start to reach your toes overhead. It's tempting to let the thigh deglue from the chest, because then the leg will get straighter. But instead, keep your arms bent, keep your fingers clasped securely. Don't let your thigh move. Just be humbled by that hamstring situation. And bend the right knee again, ankle to lower left thigh. Thread the needle, interlace fingers on the shin and pull it in. Okay, before we do the other side, unravel your legs, hold the shin bones, and just rock and roll forward and back. Just trying to get your back into a nice even rounded shape so there's not like a jagged feeling of turning a corner. Okay, we'll meet on the back again. Take your time. Lift the legs up. And bring your left knee to the chest. Extend your right leg about 45 degrees. Shoulders are down. Back is secure on the ground. And lower your leg a little further. If you start to feel your back arch and come off the ground, just pause on the lowering of your right leg. Doesn't have to be on the ground. And change your left leg so that you're interlaced on the hamstring. Thigh is glued to your chest, and just start to let your toes go overhead. This is really good split prep. So those of you who feel frustrated in your splits, do this periodically. It will eventually pan out and help. This is really an ego check, this pose, because we want that left leg straight, but the likelihood of it being straight with the thigh glued to the chest is just not that likely. Okay, rebend the left leg. Cradle, thread the needle. So we're going to reach on through to the shin and pull that whole complex of thigh and ankle toward us. Okay, release, rock and roll. Your hands could be wherever you want. Just make sure when you go back, you're not landing on your head. It's more pausing at the shoulder. Let's balance on our butt for a moment. Legs up. And vinyasa at your leisure. You could always stay on your butt because we're going to go back there anyway. Okay, jumping through to sit. So the same thing you did when you jumped your feet to your hands, you just do that a little bit more, and you bring your knees closer to your chest. Same action of dragging yourself forward. Your fingers pull. Okay, so we're sitting on our butts. Right knee bends, foot by your hip, or by your sitting bone. Marichyasana A. Reach as far forward as you can. Armpit on your shin. Thumb is going to guide your right arm around, and you'll bind near your right hip. You can always use a strap to help the bind. I don't really have straps handy too often. I really only use them for back bends. So if I were to modify this, I would probably, for myself, just do this and have the hands out to the side. But you decide, or you can bind one arm and not the other. Okay, let's rise up. Just change legs. You need a little bit of space here. because your ribs have to come forward. So if your foot was right up next to your thigh, your knee would have to move out of the way for your body. So instead of having the knee move out of the way, just have your foot move out of the way. And then the knee can just be on line, on track with the foot. Your armpit gets as low on the shin as you can get it. That's going to help the bind be comfortable. It'll help you fold further. Okay, we'll come on up, unravel. Let's lay back. Take your time getting there. Lift the legs up to that L shape. And this time, right leg, happy baby. So we're going to try to get the knee all the way to the floor. With your left leg up like this, it's pretty easy to get the knee to the ground. As you're ready, start to extend the leg out about 45 degrees. Now you'll notice your right arm is working pretty hard to keep the knee down. And maybe the left leg can go all the way down, and now the right arm is working like crazy. You could use your left hand also if you want. Either stay like that, or bring your right shin bone across your body, put the ankle in the nook of your elbow, and reach your right arm around your head to find that, that pillow. And you're just going to then push your head into your right arm to try to get your head back, your throat open. If this is boring for you, you're going to go put behind the head. We're just going to take a few more breaths. It's all the same hip thing. It's just how far did you take it. Those of you going to put behind the head, you're going to put your right hand on your left leg and try to pull your shoulder further through. And just repeat that a few times. Okay, slowly release wherever you went. And we'll try the other side, which is just legs up. And then left leg, happy baby. So we're trying to get the thigh to the ground. When you're ready, extend your right leg about 45 degrees. Maybe lower. And when you start messing with the other things we did with that left leg, your right leg does not have to stay flush with the floor. You can bring it up and do whatever you need with it. So either stay here or bring your shin across and get your ankle to your elbow. So it's like that flying pigeon we did, just way harder. If you want, left arm comes behind the head. If that's too hard as this position, if you were to bend your right knee, you'd find it's much easier. Then your throat might be able to open more. And you just, as you want to, straighten your right leg. Those of you going for foot behind the head, it's the same idea. As you put your foot back there, you might want your right knee close to your chest. And eventually it will straighten. But it's, for many people, it's harder if the leg is straight. I actually like it because I feel like it counterbalances, but I'm definitely the minority opinion on that. Okay, slowly unravel from wherever you are. Bring the knees in and rock and roll forward and back. Eventually sit up, Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Open up the feet like a book and lean forward. Hinge at the hip. So bring your chest to your feet and your face will land somewhere out in front of your feet. Two more breaths. Okay, and we'll rise up. Take whatever final pose you need before Shavasana. It might be nothing. It might just be laying back. Maybe 30 seconds or a minute of whatever it is that you're doing. And there's a lot of ways to come into Shavasana. Doesn't really matter what you do. It just has to be something where you're not focused on some aches and pains in your body. Use the next minute or so to roll over and sit up. Notice if your shoulders are shrugged up at all toward your ears. Do what you can to bring about more heaviness in your arms. Unfurrow your eyebrows. relax your eyelids. Let's bring the hands to prayer, thumbs between the eyebrows. Fold forward in your mouth. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. And more around and say hi from the other angle.